Alexa, coffee on. Greetings and salutations, this is Rick. I do hope you're having a great day. Welcome to another pottering around video. And in today's video, we're gonna get ready to go and do a bit of camping. Well, first things first, cup of coffee. So today's a Friday morning and I'm going to be heading off sort of mid-afternoon to my destination, which is Damon's Field, which you may know. But it's like, was it 10:30 in the morning now? And I love the morning on which you're going camping because I just potter around the house and just get all my bits and pieces ready to go camping. And there's not a huge amount that I've got to do. My bed's already made up in the van. I just need to pack a few clothes, sort some food out and sort the water out. Also, on this particular occasion, I'm going to swap back to my big cooker. This is a briefcase cooker and I have several. You've probably seen me using different ones in the van. I had a kind of a fold out one, which I still got and still use sometimes. And I recently bought a slimline one, which I will no doubt show you a picture of. But with the fold out one and the slimline one, both of which came from Japan, they actually register carbon monoxide on my carbon monoxide detector. It's not a lot. It's normally anything between sort of 10 and 20 parts per billion. Is it parts per billion or parts per million? But the British bought briefcase cookers, they don't register any carbon monoxide, which is interesting. So during the winter, I prefer to use the British bought ones simply because if I'm using this and the van, you know, if it's really cold outside, the chances are I'm not going to have all my doors and windows open. So I'm less likely to have any issues with this particular one. Whereas in the summertime, I can use the Japanese ones because the roof lights and the doors and the windows are always open, so they're generally okay to use. But I'm a little bit nervous about using those in a closed environment, whereas this one, not so much. Right, postman's just arrived. I think I know what this is. Let's just have a little look. Yes, there it is. More copies of my book. So I think I covered my book or mentioned my book in the last video. Inside, the dedication is for the gentle ones who live quietly, for every soul who's ever felt like they didn't quite belong, and who feels everything more than they ever let on. Starts off with the dictionary definition of neko. A human with additional feline features, soft ears, tail, heightened balance and hearing. Typically smaller and physically weaker than the average human, moves quietly through the world, more prey than predator, agile when needed, quick to flee, not built to fight. Usually introverted, very trusting, kind, nervous by nature, with instincts tuned towards survival, prone to anxiety and easily overwhelmed by chaos or hostility. Most commonly found working in cities, quiet cafes, back rooms of shops, restaurants, places where they can contribute without drawing attention. Rare to find them outside large urban areas. Most at ease in calm surroundings, far from threat or noise. Prone to being mistreated by some humans who see only difference. Often exploited in society due to their inability to question authority or stand up for themselves. Origins unclear. Actually, it's a bit of a fib because their origins are from anime, but in the context of these stories, the main protagonists in here are neko, which are like basically people with cat ears. So it's a little bit left field, but my favourite story right at the beginning is called What She Left Behind, and it's about a neko who's lodging with an old lady in a country cottage, and the old lady dies, and then her horrible family waltz in and want to take over, and they think that they're going to inherit all of her house and everything. And then this poor Neko is kind of a bit left out on his ear. But the story does have a slightly less expected ending, which is kind of fun. Anyway, sorry, this is turning into a book review video. This is not a video about book reviews. This is a video about camping. Another little pottering about thing I was doing earlier this week was I've discovered these tiles. These look like marble tiles. Hopefully you can see the reflections. Let's see, you can see they're shiny, and there we go. And these are obviously very, very lightweight, and they're peel and stick tiles. So you literally peel off the back end and you stick them onto things. And apparently they're waterproof. They're kind of like a thin foam, but it's waterproof. And they say that you can put them in bathrooms and in showers. And I'll be honest, when I saw shower, I thought, right, my shower needs a makeover. I painted it. It was once brown tiles, which are awful. I made a video on it where I painted the tiles with white tile paint. And it's lasted okay for a couple of years, but it's all starting to get a little bit tired looking. And I thought, I wonder if I can do, rather than sort of properly tiling it over and spending a fortune on tile, because if you want real tiles that are this size and shape and look, you're talking a ridiculous amount of money. So I wondered if these might actually work to revamp my shower. And so I set about my shower the other day and put some of these up. Now, the problem is obviously when you're dealing with a wet environment, the problem is going to come in the gaps. These are obviously waterproof on the front, but where they join together, my main concern was the water wicking between the tiles and then just sitting there, and then you've got mold growing in not a lot of time. So I've only done it to one wall. I'm doing an experiment just to see if these actually are any good or not. And also what I've also done is a while back I was going to do a decorating project on that wall, and it involved this gold tape, and I never actually did that feature wall. I'm still pondering. I'm actually pondering a new design on that feature wall using this type of tile, but I've still got some of that gold tape. I ordered a few rolls of this really thin gold tape, this really shiny tape. And so what I did was I actually stuck the tape over the gaps just to prevent the water from going in, assuming the tape is waterproof. Anyway, let me show you what it looks like and you can decide for yourself. So I figured I was going to do all three walls, and then I thought, actually, I'll just do the one wall just in case, because if it's no good, I don't want to do the whole lot. But anyway, this is my my bathroom. Now, originally, the tiles were this colour, which is there. But I set about them with a bunch of paint, just as a little tidying up exercise. I got some tile paint. I don't recommend tile paint. Tile paint stinks, and it stinks for months. My whole house smelt of this horrible, horrible tile paint for about 2 months before it finally died away. That's the amount of time I'm assuming it took for this tile paint to set off. But anyway, the tile paint, I mean, it still looks fine out here. You've got a bit of an orange peel thing going on, but that's just the shape of the tiles underneath. But anyway, this is what that foam wall looks like. And to be honest, I had a shower here this morning, so it's all wet. But with the gold stripes over all of the joins, I'm a little bit hopeful that it might actually be all right. But it absolutely looks fine. But the real test is obviously going to be how long that lasts like that. And to be honest, the the sticker, the gold sticker, does seem to be doing okay in the wet. That was my main concern, whether the sticker was going to be waterproof, and I think it is. But anyway, this is not a video about shower walls. This is a video about camping. Oh, right then. So I've just come to the van and I've got to figure out what it is I need to do. First thing I forgot to do was turn on the fridge. So the fridge is in its resting mode, where it's when it's not being used, the door is propped open on this little thing here. So I need to shut that, and then I need to actually turn it on. So get the power button going there, wait for it to come on, and then I think for the moment, because I need it to cool down pretty quick, that's the lowest setting and that's the highest setting, and then I'll just give that an hour and then I can start putting things in there. So the other thing I've got to check is the water. So I've got a almost full one. So if I fill that one up, I only generally ever use a full one and a little bit of the next one on a weekend. So that's fine as it is. I'll just top this one up and we're good to go. And then the other thing I've got to do is check under here. In fact, I'll leave this propped up for now. So I've got to check my... Right, so the shower is full. That's good. So that's already topped up. Don't need to do that. I've got a full drinking water here. I've got a half full drinking water there, so that one can top up. And my cooker, I think what I'm going to do is this is that slimline cooker I was telling you about. It's fine during the summer. I use it with the doors and windows open, but in the winter I'm going to pack this away. I keep it in a laptop bag. It's just nice and simple to slide in that. I'm going to take that back, and then I'm going to put my winter cooker in there, the one that doesn't give off the carbon monoxide. Okay, and for food, I've got a few tins, sardines and things like that back there. I've got a little tub of sugar. I've got some all-important tea bags. They're not even open yet. And cups. So I just need a bit of food, and I think, just check we've got plenty of gas. Yeah, more than enough gas, and heater fuel, which is important. And we'll just make sure the heater, yep, that's all connected and working. So I think we're good to go. I've got both blankets on, so I've got my winter blankets, I've got my screens if I need them, got my waterproofs, got my toiletries bag so I can have a wash, got my lighting, got my emergency charge thing, and got me Cards Against Humanity game, which is great fun. And yeah, we're good. We're good to go. So this is the drinking water that's used for tea and coffee and things like that. So this one always comes from the filter tap, rather than just the tap mains. This stuff's generally used for washing up and just general stuff, but the actual drinking comes from the filter. Right, I decided I'm going to decant the yoghurt into a glass bowl because that's just too big. I've got a load more stuff here to take and put in the fridge. So let's just... Oh, the battery's going on my light. Let's get my big spoon and we'll just... This is homemade yoghurt. Look how thick and creamy that is. So I've been using full cream Jersey milk to make this. And it works beautifully, but it's not helping with the weight loss. I think there's a lot of calories in this. So I think the next batch of yoghurt I make, it's going to have to be, I'm going to just try to do it with regular milk, maybe skimmed milk, and see if that makes a difference. Actually, shall I just do the whole lot? Shall I just do the whole lot and be done with it? I think it makes sense. But anyway, this is not a video about yoga, it's a video about camping. So anyway, the van is now ready to go. I literally just need to bring in a few more boxes. I've got a bag of clothes upstairs, which I'm just sorting out now. Must remember to put that in, which is my heated gilet. So all I generally do now is, we tend not to arrive at the field till sort of mid to late afternoon. I know Damon tends to work during the day, but once he reaches about sort of 2 or 3 o'clock, then he's freed up, and then we kind of meet down at the field. I think it's just me and Damon this weekend. I'm not sure if Jen's going to be joining us. But yeah, what I do now, I've got like an hour to kill, so I think I'm gonna go and have a bit of a chill out. I'm a bit sort of warm from running around doing lots of fetching and carrying, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick sauna and then a shower, fresh change of clothes to go, and then I'm going to head off, and that'll be, I think that's going to be my plan. But I can just potter, take my time, not worry about deadlines or anything like that. I just arrive when I do. But I shall arrive nice and clean, so I can get away possibly with not even needing a shower. In the summer you can't get away with it because you get all hot and sweaty, but in the winter, if I have a shower just before I set off, by the time I come home on a Sunday afternoon, I'm generally ready for a shower. But you can just about get away with not having a shower. You have a wash down each morning, but not an actual shower, because obviously showering in the field this time of year, a little bit chilly. We'll see, we'll just play it all by ear. But there's no panic, there's no rush, there's no agenda. It's just going to be a chilled out weekend with good company, nice food, lots of tea and coffee. Neither of us tend to do alcohol, so I've personally gone right off alcohol. I just, when you're young, alcohol's fine, you know, you can have a skinful and be fighting fit the next day. If I have alcohol these days, I get disturbed sleep. I wake up the next day absolutely exhausted, and the hangover lasts about a week. So I just don't bother anymore. It's just not worth the pain for that sort of momentary sort of moment of, yeah, it's nicely relaxed. It's just not worth it. There are other ways to relax. Now, originally this video was going to be get all the prep done, drive out there, and then camp, and the whole thing was going to be a camping video. But I think this video is long enough with just all the things I filmed today, which is just the basic prep work in what I do, my pottering around routine for getting ready to go camping. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to end the video with this, and then I will carry on. If I am going to make a camping video, I'll do that as a separate entity. But I think that's going to be it for this video. So thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the day, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care.